Is that one of those awkward pauses?
It was, but you made it awkward.
Because you looked at me side-eye.
I was like, are you going to go start speaking?
I can, but I just wanted to see what you were going to do.
We'll get to chit-chatting there, buddy.
Scholar.
I think very deeply.
Sinner.
You make me feel so good.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Derrick Pierce. Welcome to the Scholar and Sinner Show. I already said it, Derrick Pierce.
Yeah, but you're a very special Derrick Pierce today, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just
I think
the
that
average.
was the first sign of senility setting in.
Really?
Because I had to repeat the fact that I'm Derrick Pierce, and then I said I am.
So senility,
Pierce.
as in senile. You heard that, right? He said it. I didn't. Senile. You know what happens when do people get senile, D?
By the way, what's your name?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm Kip the Amazing. Yes.
Talk about
the
senility.
Amazing Kip. Hey. Hey, I'm still behind you on this train, buddy. I'm still behind you by a few.
You kicking up the caboose, bro?
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You go ahead, go in front of me. I'll watch you do it first. You go first. You first.
That's how it always is.
You first.
There's always some white dude going, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
And there's always some black dude going, bet you can't.
I bet you can't.
And then the white dude goes, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. So why is today a specially different day for you today, buddy?
Because it's Monday, March 1st. Well, we're actually filming this, which happens to be the date of my birth.
You were birthed
Yeah.
like
Today.
75 years ago today. You were
Damn
born.
near. Damn
Yes.
near.
Yes, man. So you made a whole trip around the sun, huh? It's your New Year's Day. This is your own personal New Year's, buddy.
Basically.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
I guess the question is, how are things different? Is anything different? Did you wake up this morning feeling any different? No?
No, I woke up a little late. I woke up at 6 instead of 5. And I went to work. like I always do.
Okay. But I mean, like, with age comes wisdom, though. It's not just you just turn 42 again, 41 again. It's not like you just turn 40 years old again. Not like you just turn 39 years old again and nothing happens.
No, there's wisdom, but I feel like my wisdom is kind of like the inventing the light bulb.
Okay, explain that, please.
I figured out about 1,000 ways how to fuck shit up.
Oh, that's right. Edison.
And
That's right.
I'm still looking for the one way on how to make it all work.
That's awesome. Good.
So that's how I have all these life lessons
Good job.
of, like, oh, don't do that. Not because I'm smart, because I was the dumbass that stuck my finger in the light socket when it would be wet and was like, that hurt. So that's how I've been spending the last 47 years.
Ooh, it's been 47 years, bro.
I look amazing.
I'll thank you for
I
telling
look
me.
ravishing.
Ravishing. You got a 47-year-old ravishing man next to me.
There's a beautiful woman in the back over there that's giving me the finger. I know I am number one.
Yes, you are number one in her life. It is awesome.
Number one.
So if we're going to compare 47 to 37 to 27, what do you think are the biggest difference, the biggest takeaways?
27, I was still fighting.
27 still fighting.
I was driving 5 days a week, 50 miles away each way.
Okay.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
I would have to drive 50 miles each way because
That's crazy.
to get back to where I started from. That's that wisdom setting in right there.
That's over-explaining, but yeah, go ahead, bro.
That's what you do when you get older.
Yeah, it is. See, what happened
you
was
over-explain
I drove
everything.
both ways, right? So it was 50 miles. Okay, we get it.
I was training like 5-6 days a week to make, national team and go to collegiate worlds and all this stuff. And teaching full-time and being broke as fuck. That was 27. 37
wasn't so bad, right?
not so bad, but
Right.
you're starting to creep up on 40.
Yeah.
And so you're like, damn, I'm going to be 40 soon. And then after 40, I would work
kinda
40 into the
Throw
conversation
your hands up.
constantly.
Yeah.
Like I would be like, by the way, it's nice out, isn't it? That's when I'm 40, it feels great. Like why did you mention that you're 40?
But we all have these perceptions about age, right? Like,
Right.
I remember being 15, thinking that 20 or 21 was going to be a big deal.
Oh, right.
And then you get to 21, and you're not an adult. You're just a big ass kid at 21. You're not an adult at all. Like you're just.
I feel that it is literally true. Like Jay-Z has said it. 40's the new 30. Like that kind of ideology.
I was having a conversation with my mom, and I was telling her that my 42 was different from her 42.
Absolutely.
And then she looked at me and was like, yeah, but my 42 was different than my mom's 42.
Yeah,
And
no,
I was
it
like,
is.
Holy shit. I think that we, in our current day and age, we're staying younger longer.
Well, just due to career circumstances and life and external, activities and things like that. Yeah. But I know that when my mom was 42, 42, I know that she was kind of like restarting her whole being. She's been married for over 20 years now. And so when you say to somebody like, I've been married for 20 years, you go, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you've been married 20 years. But you realize she just started this whole new life at 40.
At 40, yep.
You know what I mean? Yep. Which is a weird thing. My grandmother had a very different life at 40, you know? When you were in your 40s, when my grandmother was around.
Probably 3 kids and been married for 15, 17 years or so. Yeah, 6 kids.
For my grandmother, 6. So, and you're like so solidified in what you're doing with your life, you know? And I'm just barely grasping onto the next rung.
Right.
So, yeah, it's different. I don't feel that I'm that age in reference to what I would think that age would feel like and be like.
Right, because our only references for that age are the generation that came before us, and our contemporaries are very similar to what we're doing. Like, we still have individuals that are, super ambitious and individuals that are into their health. It's a different landscape. Like, we at 60 are going to be different. Like, I'm going to be honest, at 42 years old, I don't ever want to be 22 ever again. No. Because 22 was whack. 22 sucked. I was broke. I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life. I'm in college. 22 was shaky as hell.
My 20s weren't that bad. I was just broke, but I was fighting and I was training, and so you couldn't tell me nothing about nothing. That's all I did every day.
Yeah, no, but being broke is not something you want to go back to, especially.
But if you never had anything else, broke is comfortable.
True. Yeah. Well, what does CeeLo Green say? He says, "Sometimes I wish I had more, but I kind of like being broke. At least what I know what friends is here for."
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think in respect to like growing up and creating new ambitions, I think that I find things far more attractive now than I did when I was 25. Like, my perspective has changed. And sometimes the only thing that I do wish is that I wish I would have had this. I wish someone would have told me this shit at 25. I don't know if I would have listened.
Probably did.
Yeah, they might have.
Listening.
Yeah, like even the idea of like buying properties, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I had a property when I was 25, but I just signed the paperwork because my mama told me to. You know what I mean? But I find that to be, that type of thing, to kind of build a legacy, to kind of build some comfort as I get older, to be more attractive, to be sexier than putting rims on the car, even though there's always going to be rims on the car.
Yeah, that's a given.
Right.
That's a given.
Let me ask you this. What makes you feel old in today's day and age? What
Getting up
in the morning?
Getting up is a rough ass task, man. Yeah. You be getting up hella slow. I've said it like for a long time. Like, if I go to bed and my girl and I have been, doing what we do.
Well, bro, wait a second. Wait a minute. Okay, all right.
I'm trying to get through the whole thing, doing what we do, right? And I feel like I go to bed like Superman, wake up like Clark Kent.
Okay, that makes sense.
Why are you getting up slow? I'm like, hey, shut the fuck up. Okay. Last night I was cool. This morning my back hurts. All right, so relax on that fucking shit.
I gotta warm the engine up a little bit.
Yeah, it just take, like, you swing your legs over the edge of the bed, and she's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "I'm just putting it all together, girl. Calm down. Don't force me out of bed too fast, because I will fall."
I think what makes me feel young is when because I always have interactions with like teenagers, really young teenagers, right? Every single day I'm hanging out with these 13-year-olds, and they always make me feel old when they pull out a song or some type of like YouTube thing, or some type of like TikTok thing, and I'm like, "Mr. Thompson, are you doing this?" I'm like, "Hell no, I'm way too old for that shit." Like, they always want to know, "Are you gonna do this, Mr. Thompson?" Like, what does my 42-year in my head? I'm like, what does my 42-year-old ass look like doing that? Like
a 42-year-old man doing that
doing some shit? Yeah, like.
Well, that's like, even as things start to slowly open up in society again, right? They're like, I fear so many people. Oh, I can't wait. I'm posting throwbacks from the club and bottle service, and I'm like, wait a minute. I ain't done that shit in 10 years. Well, I got no business going to a club for bottle service.
So here's the thing, though, right? Like, especially going to a nightclub. Yeah. I'm not going to the club if I got to stand in line. Like, I don't remember the last time I stood in line for a club, and I'm not going to the club. No, I'm not going if we don't have a table and have bottles coming to the table. I'm not standing at the bar waiting for the people trying to get the attention of the bartender. Fuck that. Bring my shit to the table. Like, I'll spend the extra $100 or $200 or $300 or whatever it costs just to sit there and chill. Well, I mean, if there's 10 of us, and the bottle's $2,000.
Hey, Josh, that's how long it's been since he's been to the club.
No,
He's
no,
extra
no.
200,
No,
300.
I'm thinking
that's
about
to get in the door, homie.
No, I'm thinking about individually, right? Like we're all gonna put in our money. You know what I mean? Like
that also tells you how long it's been since he's been to the club.
Really?
Look, y'all got to pool your money together because I ain't
No.
paying for everybody.
I'm looking like this. I'm looking like I'm going with you. I'm going with Josh. I'm going
You're not
with,
paying
with
money bags?
No, I'm not paying for all you motherfuckers. But like me,
we was talking about you
Josh,
today.
check. You guys like to say I'm cheap.
No, that's not what I
yes,
said.
I'm frugal. You motherfuckers like to say I'm cheap. Say it, frugal.
That's not what I said.
Okay, what did you say?
We were talking about going to Tulum, and we said that Kip has to go everywhere that we go and do everything that we do. You are not staying at the villa.
Oh man.
Nope, that's part of the deal. That's part of the deal. You're not gonna pull that. Y'all just go on without me.
Yeah.
I'ma stay here. No, sir.
You know what? In my head, I feel like they always want me to come so they can see that stupid ass look on my face when I get utterly terrified and freaked out with some shit. Because they're going to have me try to do some white people shit, right? I know it's coming.
You saying you're not going shark diving with us?
Hell no, because black people don't shark dive.
That's messed up, man.
You can have that shit. I'm not trying to be the black dude in the scary movie. There's always one black dude in the scary movie.
No, they stopped doing it. They don't kill them anymore.
Oh,
most
word.
of them survive now.
Okay, cool. I'm not trying to be that one random ass black dude at the tsunami. Like, what the fuck is he doing there? Right? No, bro. No, not me. I'm not being that guy.
So you saying if they looked at our group, they would be like, "Oh, they drug him along. He
Exactly.
did not want to come."
Look,
they lied to him to
my
get him on this
melanin
trip.
would not allow it. My melanin won't allow it. It just speaks to my soul, saying, "Keep your black ass away from the typhoons and the fucking sharks and all the other wild shit that you guys love to do."
I think that some of the biggest differences, like moving forward, is like you were talking about. Like I'm not waiting in line, and I just kept thinking in my head every time you said something. I'm like, I'm just not going.
Yeah,
like
I could see me, you, Check, Boogie.
Yeah,
I could see us at a party at a club with a bunch of bottles of Ciroc on the table, chilling in a VIP section. I could totally see all of us spending $500 on that night, getting just really nicely suited up and just doing it big. That's a lot different.
And they go say, "Look at him, old ass man at that table over
it's
there."
Cool. It's cool. It's cool because what happens is that, to me, it's always a flex when you got the young kids waiting in line, and then we got somebody that takes us directly to where we need to go, and then we don't stay all night long. We go, we have a good time, and we bounce. Take some pictures. Like I'm gonna set this $500 on fire. Fuck it, let's go.
I actually like walking through the club.
Exactly.
I'll go hit the bar and get another drink.
That's cool. That's cool.
Because Josh can see everything.
Yeah, and I normally
Josh
get the
is
drinks quicker.
7'4". Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing?
That 25-year-old that is gonna stand in line and have to deal with the bouncer and all this other shit.
Yeah, I'm not playing it.
Definitely not.
If I don't know the owner of the spot,
exactly,
I'm not going.
Think about our speakeasy, because we got a little speakeasy. We have a little on the low spot that we go to. That's that it feels special.
Yeah, my partner's the owner of the spot, and it's
special.
a heavy spot in Hollywood.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's a dope spot.
It's a dope spot. It's a dope spot. We would give them the wild plug, but we can't give them the plug because we can't.
They was doing illegal shit.
Yeah, it was somewhat illegal.
Yeah, but that's a flex.
Yes.
You know, it's a flex. A flex is in during pandemic time when you can get a very, very noticeable place on Sunset Boulevard to open up because you gave them a phone call.
Yes, flex.
That's a flex. But it's not a flex you can show anybody. You flex it in the mirror in the bathroom by yourself.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays it's not about flexing. It's about just enjoying what you can do.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the major differences, because a lot of people live online. And the reason why they live online is because others will live vicariously through their experiences. Right. Like maybe you can't have 5 bottles on the table, but we could. Right? So someone younger or someone that doesn't have the means will be able to look at that and admire that, and then they automatically assign some type of esteem. Like all of a sudden Kip is cool, or all of a sudden Josh is cool, or D is cool because we're doing these things.
Well, the funny thing is I've been fielding calls all day for my birthday, right? And so I've had like a lot of people.
I hit you at like 6 this morning though.
You text me.
Yeah,
you didn't even call me.
I'm sorry,
fucking low life.
Sorry,
asshole.
I gave him a hug when he came here.
That's true.
Yeah.
Kip didn't do shit. What'd you give me for my birthday, Kip? I bought you 1 stock of a penny stick. It's gonna be big one day.
It's gonna be big one day.
One day.
Did you see Wolf of Wall Street?
Love that movie.
The one thing I kept noticing that I was reiterating today was about how they're like, "What'd you do for your birthday? Did you like live it up? Did you do something big?" And I'm like, "Not really. I mean, we had a few friends over the house and stuff like that." And my girl like hooked it up, right?
I mean, she always hooks it up.
She does. She's amazing at
Valentine's Day was like a time to remember. Valentine's Day was like, she could be a professional planner. If she wanted to get into like the party planning and
her charcuterie boards. Is that what you say? Charcuterie boards are amazing.
Yes.
Listen,
the jam and the little crackers and the little toast.
Low key, she flexed last night when we went out with a couple other friends for dinner, right? And I know she took a picture of that charcuterie board and was like, look at this piece of shit charcuterie board. This ain't shit. And I saw her take the picture. And I went, you comparing that to yours, aren't
Absolutely. you? Hold up. Leave it in the comments if you know what a charcuterie board is. I didn't know what that thing was
I think it's charcuterie.
Well, whatever. It's bougie as shit, though. It's little pinky up type action. You know what I mean?
I know.
You got to eat your grape with your pinky in the air. You know what I mean? It's like,
but the thing that I noticed.
It's delicious.
The thing that I noticed throughout the day was, I said, it's funny because over the last year or so, I started investing in experiences and memories and not stuff.
Yes.
And that's something that, my girl and I have talked about like 100 times. The trip to Cancun.
Yes.
Cabo is epic, and it's going to be epic, and it doesn't matter how much it costs because it's going to be worth 10 times the amount of the price tag. Because I'm not like, oh, look on IG at the picture. Because you look at the Cabo thing on IG, you're like, oh, that looks cool. But then when we sit and talk about it and I tell you about the MDMA and hookers and coke and everything else, you're like, hold on, what happened? How did that go? And now it's an epic tale multiple times over.
I'm glad you said that because...
And that, I think, comes with age.
Yeah, I was going to agree with you because getting older makes you value the time more, and we have to remind ourselves about creating these experiences.
Right.
Also, because we will go back to our regular lives. Like I don't mind now being really tired at work the very next day.
Yeah.
If the night before I was, scuba diving or something. The
with
night
sharks.
Before, with sharks. Right. The night before we were at the Mayan ruins in Tulum, right? Like these types of things are like once in a lifetimes. And the coolest thing is that as you get older, you kind of graduate to these experiences,
right? Because
we have the means to make these things happen. Whereas at 22, it would have been different. At 22, it would have been way different. Not to say that 22-year-olds can't do it, but my grown man shit is a lot better than my young man shit. And that's why we always look forward because it's only going up from here. Like, we don't plan on making the same mistakes.
I remember we went on something called Candy Cruise. Like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, some shit like that with a couple of my boys from the business, right? A couple directors and cameramen. And the tickets for women were free.
Word?
They got to go on a 3-day cruise. You know what I'm talking about, Josh? Okay, he does. He's over there shaking his head. It was free, right? So every woman that could get a ticket, they didn't have to pay for that. Every dude was $1,000.
Ooh, that makes sense, though.
$1,000. Do you know how many people were in our room?
How many?
4.
Word.
4. Now, I didn't have to pay for it. We were industry, but still, there was 4 fools in there, and we had, I think we got half off or something like that, right? But I kept thinking, like, and now that I look back on it, I'm like, there's no way I wouldn't have done it for free.
No.
I wouldn't have stayed in the room with 4 other dudes. You're out of your mind.
Like, even the perspective, the scale of the way we're doing things now is a lot bigger. Like, you think about, 5 years ago, we go to an annual a motorcycle event. Like, well, there'll be 30 of us standing around in the parking lot all night long, just laughing and talking shit all night long. Women think that we're out there and there's bitches in thongs swinging from the ceilings, and it's just really a bunch of dudes standing in circles laughing and joking.
Unless you're in Fresno at the halfway run.
Unless you're in Fresno at the halfway run.
And then all of a sudden 5s became 10s.
5. Oh, those 5s are like 9s though.
But you don't let nobody see you.
No. Don't. That's the rules. And if you catch the homie with a 4.5, you just give him the hot wink.
Is she wearing saran wrap right
She's wearing saran wrap, guys.
Slang almost caught me one time.
What?
One of our brothers, Slang, he almost caught me with a 10.
A 10, a Fresno 10.
A booger wolf.
But you know how,
booger wolf.
It was as Rocky would say, Big Rock called them all booger wolves. Man, those are booger wolves. Got you a booger wolf. And so I remember we were walking out and she was a Rough Rider.
Oh, word.
And so we were walking out the hotel room. And right before we walked out, I was like looking around. I was like, "Hey, put this helmet on." I put the helmet on her and put the visor down. I'm like, "Listen, this is how this is gonna go. My bike is downstairs. You gonna get on the bike. You ain't talking to nobody.
That is
get
funny.
on the bike." And Slang was D, where you go? I can't talk, man. I gotta go. D, who with you? Can't talk, man. I gotta go. And broke the hell out and dropped her off at her hotel room and came back. And Slang was like, who you with? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, we
just gave somebody a ride home.
Sometimes you gotta plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta plead the fifth. But thinking about how this is going to look, we're also trying to plan what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be living our lives as we get older. Like, I'm actually looking forward to 50 years old. Like, I was just thinking about this now, like financially, or just, economically, spiritually, just wanting to grow and become a better man at 50 than I was at 42. Now, I'm 8 years out from 50, but still, it doesn't matter.
I am not.
No, he's not.
I'm not 8 years out.
You are. I can count up the days for you. You want me to count the days for you?
No.
We'll just,
3
times 365 is pretty much it.
Hey, I gotta say, I'm happy. I'm happy for you, D.
Days. Yeah.
Why?
I'm really like I saw her post today on IG.
Which one? She was killing him today.
It's the one with you guys zip lining.
Yeah.
The little throwback. Yeah.
I was like, man, this is good to see.
Yeah, we're doing some shit.
I haven't seen you like this.
No.
You know?
No,
like,
it's different.
It's cool. Like, they're making good. Hey, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. And just so
Happy
you know,
for you, bro. Happy birthday, bro.
Just so you know, you kind of collected the pieces of the shit that he kind of broke and he was like fixing it. This is the new and improved version. Like, you probably wouldn't have got this 5 years ago.
Oh, hell no. We were just talking about that today.
The 35-year-old D would have been a complete it would have been raging monster.
It would have been a hit and a bounce.
What was that?
That just hit me too.
Yeah, both of us.
All right.
Both of us.
So I guess there's no pressure. You have to mature when you're ready to mature.
I want to kind of finish up with this one thing. We were chatting with a friend of ours today, right? Mm-hmm. And there was some shady shit going on his end, not with us, but like with whatever he had going on. And I couldn't help but grin and be like, damn, sucks to be you because it ain't me. Ooh, right? Shit. And I was like, we were trying to help him out. You know what I mean? Like, kind of cover some tracks and shit. He didn't do nothing wrong per se. It's just maybe some of the verbiage he used and the person he was seeing might not be too happy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he didn't do nothing wrong. Right. But again,
is this another ethically non-monogamous relationship? Or is this
not really.
Plain
but
Jane?
The point is, I ain't throwing nobody. I'm pulling a KIP. I'm pulling a KIP.
Hey.
If I get hemmed up, don't mention no names. But the thing is I was like watching it happen, and I'm like, oh, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm good now.
Yeah.
I am okay.
Yeah.
Is that one of those awkward pauses?
It was, but you made it awkward.
Because you looked at me side-eye.
I was like, are you going to go start speaking?
I can, but I just wanted to see what you were going to do.
We'll get to chit-chatting there, buddy.
It was like a fumble, and you just looked at the ball and was like, are you going to take it? Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. Are you going to take it?
We just talked. We had a nice little deep, in-depth conversation off camera about what was coming next, and you just sat there like,
oh, I know. I just wanted to see what you were going to do.
Man, I'll start beatboxing this motherfucker. Keep playing with me.
Speaking of fumbles and missing the mark, I know we haven't talked about politics very much, but you see that Mayor Cuomo is in quite a bit of. You want to rattle that some more?
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Hey.
Mayor Cuomo from New York, your home.
Brooklyn, best die all day.
Well, New York.
To a die.
New York. So things outside of your borough.
It's okay.
Okay. Anyway, he's in a lot of hot water right now.
What'd he do?
Apparently, he has been fudging the numbers on COVID deaths, especially with the elderly, up to the tune of what I was reading and hearing about was up to the tune of about 50%.
That's ridiculous. Listen.
Now, the irony, right? The reason why I wanted to mention it is because to play a little bit devil's advocate, wasn't he one of the big opponents of Trump and how Trump was handling the whole COVID pandemic and how horrible he was and he was lying and, well, if we don't test people, then we don't have high numbers. If we don't have high numbers, then technically we're lower, right? And everybody on the left was like, Trump is full of shit and shame on him. And Cuomo's brother is a reporter, I want to say for CNN, but it's probably not CNN. It's one of the main networks. And was just lambasting him, right? And then turn around and you're like, hey, you literally
lied.
We're doing the same thing that you would accuse of that previous president of doing. So apparently the left is just as bad as the right in certain circumstances.
Right. I mean, it always feels like, who do I trust? And the information that's out there is so much on either side that any rational mind will kind of start divorcing themselves from, people being in contentious relationships with the truth. Because like little things, like my school district is the second largest school district in the country, right? Behind the one in New York, right? And the argument is they want to send us back to school. They want all the Los Angeles Unified School District teachers to go back to school.
And the consensus is?
The consensus is my union is like, fuck that. We're not going back to school, right? Because they don't even know what it'll look like. They have no ideas. And there are parents that are protesting, right?
Well, they're protesting because I heard that they want to make the mask part of their mandatory uniform.
Well, that's fine. But what happens here is that it's only the parents of affluence that are protesting. The parents in the hood have other shit to do than to be out there protesting with their
they're like,
kids.
You need to take your ass back to school, and if you got to wear a shitty ass mask, then you got to wear a shitty ass mask.
So what we're talking about here is like perception versus reality. And don't get me wrong, I know that the virus is actually a real thing, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm not an anti-masker by any means, but I feel as though some of the things that we're doing in public are like safety blankets, right? Like, I got a memo that said that they might require me to Windex down my desk and my hard surfaces when my students leave the classroom. And I'm sitting here like, the virus doesn't live on hard surfaces.
It doesn't live on any surfaces.
Yeah,
for an
so
extended period of
no,
time.
but that's real. It doesn't live on hard surfaces at all. You can cough on a fucking table, and I come touch the table, I'm not going to get the virus from the table.
It's airborne,
right? So the wildest shit about this is that they want us to do these things that are kind of like a safety blanket, like Linus in the fucking Peanuts.
That's
You know how Linus went everywhere with his fucking blanket? That's what it is.
Right.
And that type of shit is what's somewhat scary. Like, all right, okay, if you say so, but only reason why I bring it up is because you said Cuomo was fudging those numbers, and our numbers are actually supposed to be going down.
Right.
They're supposed to be declining.
Other places. I mean, New York is kind of a ground zero. I was talking to one of my friends today who wished me happy birthday and stuff, and he is a singer in Broadway and that kind of stuff. And he was commenting and talking about Hell's Kitchen and about how all of the shops in that area it's completely desolate because it's actually propped up by the arts.
Yes,
right?
yes,
all
yes,
the theaters
yes.
and Broadway.
Well,
and off Broadway.
a lot of people don't realize how close Hell's Kitchen. It's a neighborhood in Manhattan. Right. It's right there.
Right. And so it's all propped up. And now because there are no theatrical tributes going on and there is no arts going on, that the whole area has literally died.
Well, we're kind of beyond the tipping point of feeling comfortable with truth. Like people are only feeling comfortable with their fears. Like individuals are literally grasping to their fears and holding on to it because they've learned to be comfortable with it. So if we tell people, hey, look, it doesn't live on hard surfaces. Like I was going into the supermarket and I was watching a lady be very adamant that the man wiped down her cart. Right. And I'm sitting here thinking like, well, first off, if we were going to wipe down these carts, we should have been wiping down these carts 10, 15, 20 years ago. And we're just wiping it down now because we're conscious of infectious things.
Because it gives you the perception.
But it gives you the perception that the cart can give you coronavirus. That's literally impossible. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
It's going to be a while before our consciousness catches up with our hearts, so to speak, when we can finally rationalize some things, because up until then, it's going to be uncomfortable because we were just talking about when are things going to go back to normal. Well, normal is going to be different than what normal was 3 years ago.
Yeah, normal is never going to be what normal was.
So it'll never be what it was. And this year, should not define you as a person. Because you're literally being asked to be something and to conduct yourself in a manner that is outside of anything that you've ever done before.
What about all the other sicknesses and flus and colds and stuff that you can get? Like, wipe it down. I wipe this stuff. Like, you got to do it.
I mean, I don't think wiping stuff down is a bad idea at all. But I'm just saying it's not preventing COVID. Like, don't clean this because you're trying to prevent COVID. Clean this because it's just the right thing to do, and you should have been doing it anyway.
Yeah, but what has COVID taught us all? Like, it's really taught us how to like maneuver and not get try to stay away and social distance.
I'd be
interested
to see how high the flu numbers are.
Yeah, see, like
because that's usually a good guy.
Infectious disease is always a part of society.
Yeah, you can't get out of it.
It's always a part of society. Now the problem is how deadly this infection is, right? So COVID just happens to have a mortality rate that would adversely affect our population, right? But we have to recognize that COVID is not fucking smallpox. Okay, like if smallpox broke out, which is somewhat impossible, there would be people that are dead and dying. That would be it. There would be two people.
The number right now is 500,000 for the United States.
Well, listen, And I don't want to push away or to belittle the 500,000 lives that have been lost to COVID, right? Because like all of us know someone. We know someone. There's always a degree of separation between you and someone that has passed away because of the virus. All I'm saying here is that if we could, it's going to be time. All I'm saying is that it's going to be time before like our consciousness kind of catch up to what is actually scientifically makes more sense. Right. And people are just doing what makes them feel comfortable. And don't get me wrong, I'm totally in to doing things to keep the people in the public feeling safe. Like I wear my mask because I want you to feel safe. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I agree. And but we always have this perception of safe, right? I mean, just look at law enforcement.
Oh my God, here we
You know
go.
what I mean, that's the perception of being safe. And now you see videos and things like that of people literally trying to run away from the police when initially their intention is not to have any sort of conflict with you. Right. That doesn't mean that's how it works out, right? But in some instances, they really are just trying to do their job and look out for people.
That's true.
But there's such a negative disposition put on law enforcement now. Right. And whether it's right or not, I don't know, because you have to look at the way society works now,
I think what happens is that people forget that a law enforcement officer has a huge part of his job is discernment. Like he has to be able to discern whether or not to engage, whether or not to engage, whether or not his authority is something that should be put forward, or whether or not it should be something, because it takes as much power and strength to kind of quell your authority and pull back as it does to kind of usurp and push forward your authority. Because I feel like your relationship with the police as a white male is different than my relationship as a black male. And I remember very specifically being taught to be aware and cautious of where the police are and how we, respond to the police officers and so on and so forth.
No, but I was too, because of the neighborhood I grew up in. But it wasn't the same experience. No. And it's not the same experience. No. I mean, can you imagine, like I saw that video of the 42-year-old black man.
Kurt Reinhold.
Yeah, that guy. And he was shot to death.
In Orange County. For jaywalking.
And that was in September, which was a while ago. But the reason why it got brought up again is because apparently they released the audio tapes as the precursor to the stop.
Right. So I remember in September having a conversation with a lot of my friends about a certain amount of anxiety that we were feeling when it comes to talking to police officers, right? I had a conversation with individuals talking about carrying their guns. Like, these are the same people that live these lifestyles that said, I'd rather be caught with it than caught without it. Sure. Now, what they're thinking about is adding the police to that caught with it than better than caught with it and caught without it philosophy, right? So there was literally almost like a surge of awareness, because we have been inundated with these images of black men being brutalized by police officers. Let's not forget that this guy, Kurt Reinhold, died right in the heart of the George Floyd protests, right? This dude, like, you saw the video.
And he was in OC.
And he's in Orange County. Now, Orange County is not the blackest place in America.
No, it's really safe. So apparently, if anybody hasn't seen it, right? Yes. Dude jaywalked illegally, okay, in an empty street. The cops who had observed him walking illegally, jaywalking, they had a conversation as a precursor to the stop of basically, we should stop him. And his partner says, do you really want to stop him on a jaywalking? It's already done.
Yeah, and mind you, I can understand if this was a heavily trafficked street.
Right.
When you watch the video, you can watch the guy walk across the street, and it's a good amount of time, because they talked for a good amount of time.
I don't remember quite, but I feel like it was a relatively residential area.
It was a residential area, and there was not one vehicle passed by the camera as they went after this guy.
And so the one officer says, yeah, basically we should stop him, and the other one basically said,
what for?
Are you sure you really want to end up being a potential case study? As to, like, this might not be the best moment to stop somebody. Right. Now, when they engaged with him, they rolled up on him, and he was pretty angry at being stopped and challenged the cops in relation to, not physically, but verbally challenged the cops to, where did I jaywalk? I didn't jaywalk. Now, I don't know what the time frame was between the two encounters. They don't say that. But they basically now, one of the officers apparently seems to have decided that he now needs to assert his authority for jaywalking, right? A guy who's carrying groceries.
Yes.
And they get into a scuffle. One officer screams that he's reaching for my gun.
And then they shot him.
Now, I don't know if he ever actually obtained the gun.
No, in the video, it's this real muddy,
It's real
blurry
blurry.
video and he has his hand at its side, and I guess in
But it's
theory,
two cops
he could
sitting
be,
on top
it's
of
two
him.
cops on top of him, and he could be reaching for a gun. Now
He could be just having
here's
his hands on the gun,
Here
too.
is the wildest assumption, right? If they didn't touch him, he wouldn't be on the ground and he wouldn't have to reach for that gun. Like, there are a bunch of things, there are a bunch of hurdles that we have to get over, a bunch of obstacles we have to get over before this guy is shot. What I always want to posit is the police have to be aware of, like, the collective mental health of the individuals. I'm not saying the police have to be psychologists, no. But what I am saying is that in September, there was a collective consciousness of individuals being wary about interacting with police officers. And these cops knew this. There was protests going all over Southern California, and they still chose to interact with this dude over an infraction, right? And then
Right.
I guess they were wondering, like, why is he so belligerent? Well, is it possible that he was afraid? Is it possible that he was afraid
I would say
that he would
most
end
likely.
up like, Philando Castillo? Like, was it possible that he was afraid that he would end up like any of the other guys that were on the media? And then what happens? He ends up just like any other person on the media.
And so basically, he was shot in reference to a jaywalking
Ticket.
citation.
Yeah, man, it's wild.
Now, listen, common sense,
Mm-hmm.
common sense would dictate
Mm-hmm.
that if the police stop you, you be polite, you be you be willing to cooperate, right? Yes, sir. No, sir. And I act that way.
Yes.
I know that mostly Kip does. I know
Yes.
most of my brothers do, right?
Right.
But just because I choose to act that way, does that then now make his reactions to the allegations of jaywalking necessarily negative, right?
No.
He is allowed to be upset by the stop.
Absolutely. Yes. But the thing is that, okay, fine. Maybe you would have, or maybe I would have. I can't tell you how I would have responded, but maybe we would have responded differently depending upon the day. But the sheer ignorance and ignoring of the possibility that this person might be on edge because of the cultural climate is the biggest flaw in the policing. That's bad police work. Like, you're not being sensitive to this individual, and by not being sensitive to this individual, you're literally like taking away from what's happening in the world. That to me was the biggest point. It was September.
I just wonder that at what point in time, the guy was jaywalking. It was illegal.
Yeah.
He should have stopped for the stop, right?
Right.
They told him to stop. They told him why they were stopping him.
Mm-hmm.
He denied the stop, but you shouldn't end up dead over a jaywalking ticket.
To address the idea that he was, verbally
combative.
Yeah, he was verbally combative, right? Like, what if this individual felt like he was trapped? Right? What if this individual felt like he was surrounded? What if he felt like he was surrounded by an enemy? What if the same thought process that the police officer used to identify him as someone that is breaking the law, he could have used that same type of rationale to realize that these guys might hurt me, right?
Sure.
That is 100% possible. And the fact that it's the police officers that initiates the contact, they have to be responsible of understanding that this is what it could be. This is what it could be.
Well, so then the other one that I had watched.
Let's go.
The kid in Texas, the young man in Texas,
R.J. Reese,
18
years old,
who was working at Walmart.
He's working at Walmart.
Walking home at night through the snowstorm. Well, it had fallen already, so he's walking through the snow.
Yes.
With a T-shirt,
Yes.
and jeans, and a bag,
Yes.
like a grocery bag.
And he wasn't leisurely strolling. He was
he was moving.
He was moving. He's like, I gotta get to the
He
crib.
trying
It's
to
cold
get
out
home.
here. Yeah.
And so they stop him. Well, they try to stop him, and it's because a resident had said there's a black man walking in the snow with a
Right.
T-shirt on.
Now
and he was slipping and stumbling.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so they were doing a wellness check, which basically, hey, you're not injured, you're not, delirious, you
Right.
don't have a mental issue
Yes.
that you might need help with.
Right.
And then when they try to stop him, he's like, I'm good. Leave me alone.
Yes.
I'm fine. And they asked
actually
him a
told
few
him.
times.
They actually told him this is a wellness check. He said, "Okay, fine. I'm good. I'm just trying to get home."
Right.
Like, I thought about myself, right? Like, when I was 18 years old, I used to work at the mall, right?
Yeah.
And the walk was literally a 4-mile walk. Now, I never had to walk 4 miles in the snow in a T-shirt. I live in Los Angeles, bro. That ain't happening.
Right.
But still, I remember having to walk home, and I'm just trying to get from point A to point B.
Right.
When the police officer stopped and asked him how was he doing, and he said, I'm good, what they should have done, in my opinion, was offer him a ride home. They recognized that he was cold.
They did. She said,
did she offer him a ride home?
Yeah, do you need a ride home? He's like, no, I live
Then
right
she should have gotten
there.
her damn car and kept it moving.
But they didn't.
They
And
did not.
They said, well, we're stopping you because, look, you're walking in the street. And he said, oh, my bad, you're right, and got on the sidewalk. But keep in mind, there was snow and ice everywhere.
The pictures in the daytime makes it actually very difficult to distinguish between what's the street and the sidewalk. And
Absolutely.
It was nighttime. Yeah.
And he said, I do this every night.
I'm just trying to get to the crib.
So he's having a legitimate conversation, and then they're like, well, we just want to talk to you. He's like, I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
Leave me alone.
Right.
I live right there.
Right.
And then they engage with him, and then one of the officers says, you're now being detained during this investigation.
Investigation? It was a wellness check. So listen, if you look back on our episodes, you will find us talking about this very specific issue on numerous occasions, right? And the fact that we're talking about it is enigmatic, is an exemplar of the media that's being produced. Like, we're not the only ones talking about it. People are actually seeing this. What is this kid supposed to think? What was, what's his name? What was Kurt Reinhold? So how was he supposed to feel? And Kurt kind of strikes home because he and I are the same exact age.
Right.
And I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, man.
He also had no priors.
No priors.
He was a father
of two. Just, regular old run-of-the-mill good guy. We were just talking about getting older, right? We were just talking about, the experiences. And maybe this dude is feeling a certain kind of way, comes into contact, speculation, comes in contact with the police officers on the heels of George Floyd, and in his head he's like, I just need to get home to my family. I just need to go home to my family.
Well, I know this young man in Texas, that's exactly
how we felt.
And I thought it was interesting because when they were trying to detain him, he said something about like, listen, I have some real anger issues.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
He was just leave me alone, right.
Don't mess with me. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then one of the cops tries to grab him and he's like, please let me go. And then he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And she's like, now you struck an officer.
Yeah, because he pulled away from her, or he pushed her away, or something like
you can't really
take your
make
hands
it
off.
out. But he immediately apologized, which means to me, obviously, he's very conscious of what he's doing.
One of the things that bothers me, right, is the verbiage that goes along with how big the person is, right? They said like George Floyd, how big he is, right? This 18-year-old kid, how big he is, because in the videos you can't tell how old he is.
Yeah,
and then when they did the interview with him one-on-one. He looked like a big ass baby. I can't even front, right? The point I'm trying to make here is that all of this stuff kind of plays into the bestialness of a black male and the reasons why individuals should be afraid of them. And the media is somewhat perpetuating these ideas to the point where I am now aware of it and I am now cautious of it. So now when the police come talk to me, I'm like, yo, is he going to see me as a person or is he going to see me as some type of raging beast that could bite his face off, right? This is the type of shit that when individuals start talking about policing and police work, this is the main reasons why it's important for the police to at least be acquainted with the places that they're policing.
But in both situations, there had to be a on the spot call made.
Yes.
Of how to handle the situation.
Right.
And in one of them, it was an infraction. And on the other one, it was actually
a wellness call. Like it was
no legal basis to stop him outside of saying, "Are you okay? Are you coherent?"
Right. Or outside of saying, "Hey, you're in the street," and if we're actually going to pay attention to it, they both could have been considered jaywalking, right? Like you're in the street, and then the 18-year-old was told, "Hey, man, get on the sidewalk." He's like, "All right, cool, my bad," right? The other guy gets to the sidewalk, and those other police officers. It's the most important thing about the Kurt Reinhold case was the fact that there was a police officer that said, what are we doing
there was a conversation before.
There's a whole ass conversation about why are we even going to engage this guy, right? Because you mean to tell me that I'm not even supposed to think that this is racially motivated? Like I'm supposed to say, oh, he's just a guy and these two cops are white and this just happens in Orange County?
I don't think they're both white.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter. The perspective of who the criminal is often looks like me.
Absolutely.
Right? So it doesn't matter if the cops are white or not. It's just the perception of who is doing the crime.
I don't think they stopped him because he was black.
You don't think they stopped him because he was black? Do you think they just stopped him because he was jaywalking?
I think, yeah, I do.
I don't know, bro. I think that if
I know it might be a stretch. I think that they stopped him because he was committing some sort of infraction or whatever. And then I think it got escalated because he challenged their authority.
Right.
And,
all right.
And I don't think him being black helped.
Right. But see, once again, how am I not supposed to even consider
Understandable.
that? You know what I mean?
Understandable.
Like, I know that if that was Jay walking across the
Yeah.
street, they might have let her go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she's cute. She's cute. She's purty.
Speaking of beautiful, did you see Canelo's walkout outfit from his fight on Saturday?
You know what? I
White
was
and pink was stunning.
bro was walking white and pink.
Yeah.
Thought a boy, Mr. Alvarez. Way to do it. Way to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
It was a third round knockout. I wish there was a lot to talk about, but there just wasn't.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's a knockout, but he couldn't answer the bell. That's a knockout. Yeah, because like
He
usually
got
when
knocked out. What do you mean couldn't answer the bell?
no, he didn't get off the stool. In the third round, he did not get off the stool
It was a
and
wrap.
answer the bell. It was a wrap. He quit at the end of the round. He went to his corner and he quit.
Yeah, it was a knockout.
That's all right, Josh. How did the fight end?
You got knocked out.
Did he get knocked out unconscious?
That's what I thought it was.
I thought dude couldn't answer the. Well, shit, whatever, man. It shows you how much I was paying attention. But I
You were
thought
there.
Dude, I was watching it, but I thought dude was out because we thought that he was going to come back. Remember, we had the gambling little bet going on,
Right.
And I said that he was going to lose. He wasn't going to make it through the fifth round,
Right.
And I thought he was going to get up off that stool, and he did not get off the stool. He could not answer the bell.
Yeah, I'm
And
just
I was
double
like-
checking.
I was like, bro, Canelo beat the brakes off you that badly?
Yeah,
he was
basically.
tagging that kid up though. I thought that the Turkish fighter would have had more movement, knowing that Canelo is a power puncher.
Right.
Like, and at some points, look, here I am with my armchair ass talking.
His
about
corner
how to fight.
stopped the fight.
Yes, his corner stopped the fight.
Joel
corner
Diaz
stopped the
warned
fight.
in between rounds. I
Yes.
just remember seeing that right hand.
Yeah.
That right hand, and he was. I really thought
Yeah,
that was it. I
his
was
corner-
halfway paying attention.
Yeah, you know, I guess I was expecting him to be more mobile in the ring. I was expecting him to be.
Well, he had a good record, but
in the second round, bro, he looked like a heavy back. Like
Yeah.
Canelo was hitting his ass with. He was kitchen sinking
yeah,
this kid.
that body shots were
Oh
rough as
man,
hell.
he was getting kitchen synced up. I'm
That's
like,
not
son.
what I'm looking for, though. What I'm looking for is UFC.
Yes.
Was it March 7th, right?
Yes, that's Saturday. So we got Jan Blachowicz, the Polish Power, versus
Stylebender.
Israel Adesanya is moving up. He's moving up. Well, Adesanya he fights at 185, but that dude actually walks around at like 215, 220 and cuts down to 185.
And what I'm really looking for is Nunes.
Oh yeah, well Nunes is gonna lunch that chick though. Like
She's 11. Megan Anderson's 11-4.
All right.
Nunes is 24-0, and Nunes knocked out
she
everybody.
beat the shit out of Cyborg. Look,
Everybody.
man.
Nunes made Cyborg leave the UFC.
Yeah, look, I'm really excited about Aljamain Sterling and Peter Yan. Those are little guys that are gonna go at it. And Aljamain,
Yeah, the records are pretty good too.
Aljamain has looked fantastic. He's been skipped over a few times and been,
He's
been
19-3, and Peter's 15-1.
And Peter's a beast too. He's a beast too. But we're gonna see, because when we're talking about Amanda Nunes, look, it's almost like Amanda is a lion, and this
Well,
is just
literally. And that's
she's-
how she comes out.
Okay, well, Amanda's the lion, and this lady is the lamb that gets sacrificed because she's going to get eaten alive.
Nunes has knocked out. I'm trying to think of all the people she's knocked out.
Listen, I don't want to disrespect Megan Anderson, right?
I
Because
will.
I know Megan is.
Megan,
is,
you should
is in-
stay home.
Megan is in
Don't
there.
even do your hair.
I will be
Leave the
shocked.
cornrows out.
I will be shocked
Amanda's going to eat your lunch.
if she makes it through the second round. I'll be shocked, right? But Jan Blachowicz, I feel like the Jan Blachowicz fight is going to go very much like the Conor McGregor Dustin Poirier fight.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. I don't believe that Jan is going to be able to hit Stylebender, because I don't think Stylebender is going to be there because Jan is a lot slower. But
Maybe.
what I'm talking about is those calf kicks
Yeah.
that Poirier hit McGregor with that totally stopped his movements. I can absolutely see Adesanya beating his legs up and to the point where
Could
Jan
be.
can't move around, and then he's just getting flat out tagged.
Could
Because
be.
Jan is not a wrestler. He's just a big heavy-handed puncher. And Stylebender has made a career out of knocking out those big heavy-handed punchers.
Well, his background, K1.
So his background in K1 also means that he's fought heavyweights before.
Oh, yeah.
He's fought 230 pounds, 240 pound fighters. So like the idea that Jan Blachowicz has all this power that Adesanya hasn't seen before,
Oh, no, I think he's seen the power.
absolutely.
But we'll see how it plays out.
We're gonna see. I mean, he's not fighting Francis Ngannou. He's not fighting Francis. Okay, like he's not fighting Curtis Blades, who just got his ass beat. By the way,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, got knocked all the way the fuck out by the Black Beast. But yeah, man.
Oh, Dominic Cruz is fighting too.
And Dominic Cruz is fighting on the undercard.
Yeah.
I love Dominic Cruz because his attitude is always great. He's like, look, I love the fight. I don't care if I'm on the undercard. I know I was the champion, but it's okay. This is what I do.
Yeah.
And Dominic Cruz is literally the dude who was broken up into pieces. That guy has had some of the worst injuries.
That's a pretty bad
Like
one.
all the way fucked up. Get surgery. How do those guys recover all the time? How? Like, they have injuries that would end them from playing any other sport. But they keep fighting?
Well, these days, the recovery options are pretty vast. And you should see some of these fighters' recovery programs, like just the doctors and treatments and things like that.
Yes.
They're pretty expensive.
And some of those guys go overseas to get stem cells and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking into that now for my back.
Really?
Yeah. A couple of my friends have had stem cell done.
Oh.
So I really want to know about it.
You know what's crazy? At on Saturday at our party, well, at your party, I'm always there. So
you there? It's our party.
Yeah. So I got to talk to Keenan. Right?
Yeah.
Keenan's a trainer.
One of our coaches.
Yeah, he's a coach, but Keenan's also a professional fighter. He's like what? Keenan's what? Like 5'8", 5'6", 135 pounds of just badassery.
Yeah, he's a small guy. He's about probably 145.
Yeah, I mean, but I asked Keenan what happens in the fight when you're getting pummeled and you're close to getting knocked out. Like, what happens in your head?
Grab something.
What are you thinking? And he was like, he said that he didn't want to be embarrassed. I was like, huh. He said he starts thinking about his family and his friends and the people watching and the people that prepped him, and he was like, damn, I'm
trying to find the pin in the cage so I get the fuck out.
I was like, oh shit.
He's hitting me back in the head. I just want to get the door open.
Yeah, Keenan was like, he's like, sometimes the little bit of bitch comes out. I was like, word? He was like, yeah, like I get afraid. I don't want to embarrass my family and my friends and my trainers and all this other stuff. And I was like, yo, in the moment. Oof, that must be
Speaking
hard.
of embarrassment, don't we have a bunch of questions this week?
Oh, yes, we do. We do have some questions. All right, so, first of all, we appreciate all those that have joined the community.
Yeah,
we have to join the community. Listen, slide into Scholar and Center DMs on Instagram. Shoot us a question. Shoot us a topic for discussion on our shows or whatever. But first question is for...
I just run through the questions.
Okay,
a couple of them. We don't have that much time to run through all of them because there's a lot, but let's get a couple in.
Alexis Canadian says, if you guys have ever switched jobs, who do you think would tap or have a mental breakdown first if we switch jobs? Now,
yeah,
I think my 165 13-year-olds would drive D nuts. I think so. I think they would drive him nuts. But if I had to be balls deep on a porn set, I'm tapping out fast.
Really?
I think.
I was really thinking that you might be able to hang in there longer than I could teaching a bunch of 8th graders.
Yeah, but the difference is you're already a teacher.
Yeah, I know, but I feel in my head like I'd be a substitute and they'd be trying to make me cry.
Oh no! And my little monsters.
I would have to punk somebody.
Yeah, my little monsters are going to try to eat you alive.
Yeah.
They're not playing. They're like little piranhas. And
I know.
Yeah, they're not playing.
Saying. Like, you know what I mean? Trying to swap flies.
Yeah, man. Just Gen 203 says, Kip, have you ever spanked anyone hard enough to leave a handprint?
There was just one bruises? Time, but his handprint went away. And at that time? My bad.
Don't tell him my secret. No. So, yeah, I have. Okay, if that's what you really want to know, right? Like sometimes you got to focus on trying to break this bitch's pelvis. Okay, because they be talking shit. No, with your pelvis, you break her pelvis.
But
right?
they asked if you smack somebody's ass hard enough.
I'm just talking about brutalizing this bitch so that she taps out. Okay, that
wasn't the question.
Okay, well,
the question was,
have I ever spanked a chick to the point
hard enough to leave a handprint?
Yeah, I guess so.
You guess so?
Yeah, I guess
What white girl did you fuck?
Oh man, go man, white girls.
Because sisters is hard to leave handprint on a sister. I know.
Light-skinned sisters ain't really that hard, bro. But I mean, it's to each his own, right? Like you have to want that type of spanking.
Trying to skip the white girl comment, huh?
I'm skipping all over the white girl comment.
Okay. I'll let you off the hook.
All right. So Diana 1980 says, Derrick, what is one of the most unique or interesting gifts you've received from a fan?
Unique or interesting? I think one time somebody bought me like some wife beaters or something like that. And I felt really cheated by it. You know why? Because I know a lot of the female performers, they have their Amazon wish list and all that stuff. And their shit is like epic. They have like a new laptop.
Oh, shit.
And, give me a big screen TV.
Oh, damn.
And I got wife beaters? Cheap ass bitch. Like, I can't get some cool shit. Oh, I couldn't even get some name brand.
Probably should have had a wish list, bro.
A wish list, bro.
But you know what? I tell you why I don't have a wish list because I know that my friends would give me so much static about having a wish list.
Yeah.
What would be the top 5 things on your wish list?
Yeah. What are the top 5 things? Oh, the PlayStation.
Oh,
yeah.
Hint.
And Jay said, "Fuck that! You're not getting PlayStation."
No, I'm saying put that on his list so I don't have to buy it.
Oh, okay. I thought she said, "I want that time." You in that damn game.
No, she.
Hey, one of you fans.
Yes, I want to.
Loves him some Derrick Pierce.
Ladies, do you get jealous of your man's gaming habits? Put it in the comments, please. Leave a comment, ladies, if you get jealous of your man. Like I'm talking about, your man comes home from a long day of work and he's tired and he just wants to play a cool round of Call of Duty. Does that bother you, ladies?
Call of Duty.
I don't know, bro. I don't play video games anymore. I used to beat the shit out of anybody in Madden, but now I'm retired. All right. So now we do have some YouTube comments.
All right. Quick, though.
Quick. So our girl Dakota Works is back in there as she always is.
What's up, Dakota?
What's up, Dakota? She says, I know you find music fascinating. Ask a person what their favorite song is, and if they really listen to it, I'll tell you a lot. So it tells you a lot. So she's giving us a suggestion because remember we asked Boogie to give us the rap lyrics as advice. So Dakota wants us to ask one of our guests what their favorite song is, and then we'll be able to elaborate from there. I think that's a great idea, Dakota.
When we have another guest.
If we ever have another ghost. Because I don't know.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song?
Don't even say
Bitches
the
ain't
name.
shit but hoes and tricks. No, I'm just playing. Was that too much? Was that too much?
No, you're not. You're not playing.
I don't have a favorite song, actually. I was actually, to be honest with you, listening to Herb Alpert's Rise on the way up here.
Nobody knows who Herb
Yes,
Alpert
you do.
is.
It's the
I do.
Yes, you do. You absolutely do. It's the sample from Hypnotized. It's the Hypnotized sample from Biggie. March 9th is the day Biggie died. There you go. Sample from Hypnotized. All right. Allie, whatever. She says, talk about putting your best foot forward. Oh, she's talking about the shoe in the vagina. If you want to know if you want to know a Boogie Shoe Gina story, you got to go back and get that Shoe Gina information because it was epic. All right.
Was he Reeboking that clit?
He was Reeboking the shit out of that clit. Wow. Okay. Clarice. You know what I'm saying? Miss Scott. Clarice. It says, even I almost had to tap out on this one. You, Lord. I think she was talking about the Shoe Gina story. You want to learn about the Shoe Gina. Go back and look at the Shoe Gina. All right, two more. Tara Childress. You're an Apple guy, Derrick? My opinion of you just changed drastically. Did we just become best friends, Tara?
This is what I think
Did we
about
just
your
become
opinion.
best friends?
This is what I think about your opinion about my Apple products right
We
here.
love you. Yes,
Right
we
here.
do. Don't pay any attention to that. He's just
It's
being
all
rude.
about Apple.
Yeah, that's a very Apple response, by the way.
Says the guy who starts screaming like the solo voice in a scary movie about his Android.
Hey, my shit is fly. Last one. Damn, Derrick, always need the details about someone's sexual encounters. Oh, by the way, read more. Hold on. By the way, none of your dance scenes, Derrick, did you do Magic Mike XL was naked. He. That is from Diana Andrew.
But the one on OnlyFans is.
Yes. So
Yeah, you can catch the naked shit on OnlyFans.
yeah, subscribe to Naked OnlyFans shit for him. So yeah, those are our comments for last week, yo. Leave some comments. Join the community.
Yeah. What time is it?
It's porn story time, bro.
That it?
That's it.
It's porn story time.
Yes.
You got a question?
Is squirt pee?
You want the short version?
There's a
Yes,
good
it
story
is.
that you can describe this with.
Squirt pee.
Which story? Which story? There's so many.
Have you ever the homie's birthday party with the Billy D's? And you and I were sitting on the couch.
Keep going. I'm trying to remember.
So one of our boys was getting a little lap dance by a couple girls.
A couple girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At Billy D.
With the Billy D party.
Okay.
And then they started, shooting everywhere.
Skeeting.
And D leans over to me and goes, I don't think he knows that's pee.
Oh, yeah, probably. Because, okay, so squirt is a real thing.
Okay.
But usually when it's on camera, it's not that it can't be. Mm-hmm. It's just that typically when you see it arc across the room in a stream.
The arc will let you know.
That's not.
No,
usually,
listen.
Squirt is usually like a wah, like it's like.
Okay,
like a,
all right.
you know what
Because
I mean?
I have been known to make a girl puddle before.
Yeah.
Like she puddles. Like, you doing your
Well,
thing.
Don't
and
take too much credit. It's usually on them, not on us.
Hey, look, man.
I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I'm just saying.
I have been known on occasion to make a chick puddle, but the point is, it's never not like in the movies when she's like a faucet across the room and shit. Like,
when you see her,
son?
going old school Atari with the
yeah.
and then it just starts going everywhere. Usually, that's pee.
Gross.
Oh, you know what? One time I did a movie called The All-American Squirt Off. I think that's what it was called. Shit, let me look.
Are you going to Google some shit that you
I have
did?
to, because I think that's what it was called. I don't remember.
Because you're old and you don't remember how many fucking movies you did now?
No, because I'm that much of a fucking megastar that I have no idea.
When I was stroking Janet Jameson.
So what was the plot of this movie while you look it up?
I just...
What?
Well, you see, Josh, it was in a boxing ring.
Well, you see, Josh.
There's different versions of it. Let me see
Oh,
if
wow.
the images. I want to do the video, so there's images. Yeah, it was one of these.
Damn, Google is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad you guys can't see this iPad over here.
Yeah.
It's just elbows and assholes everywhere right now.
Yeah, it was in a boxing ring. And there was at least, I don't know, six girls in there. And it was just pee everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it was
gross.
across the room in buckets. Like you're fucking somebody and another girl's squirting all over the both of you.
You know, straight the both
it's
of
in
you.
your mouth, it's in your eyes, everywhere. Whatever. Yeah, and the worst part, that wasn't the worst part. The worst part, what?
This is a bad question. We already had the pee episode. I thought we was. This is my fault.
Squirt, kid.
This is my fault.
It's squirt, kid.
I brought this
The
evil
worst
upon
part
myself.
is in the boxing ring, you know they have the flooring and it's squishy and padded. Yeah, it's still
That's
squishy.
Pretty.
After it's been completely drenched in squirt / pee.
Oh, fluids.
I think at one point in time, Cytherea hit somebody from damn near across the ring.
Cytherea.
Yeah.
That's a real name.
Her name's Cytherea.
It sounds like a
Look right there. See Cytherea.
Cytherea.
Tucci, Angela Stone, Cat
That sounds.
Felony, Armor.
Hey, there goes Ron Jeremy.
Am I in this one? Not. Yeah, right there, Derrick Pierce.
Oh, there goes Derrick Pierce. All right.
It's the Great American Squirt Off.
The Great American Squirt Off.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. But I did it.
Yes,
got
you
paid.
did. Got
Went
paid.
home. And didn't think twice about it. Until just now.
That's my guy.
Because I'm the consummate professional.
As you should be. Well,
You want to do the outro?
yes, I do. I want to
for
get the fuck out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We thank you for watching our wonderful show. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification so you know exactly when our show is going to be airing. One more time. Like, comment, subscribe, join the community. Hit the notification button. Once again, I'm Kip the Amazing, and this is
Derrick Pierce.
Love.
Scholar.
I think very deeply.
Sinner.